Hello everyone, I'm here today with Selim because we've had Mark join the marketing and communication department for over a year now. I've been a CMO for more than 10 years and today I'm representing Blue Soft. To tell you a bit more, it's an IT services company, so a digital services firm that was founded in 2008 to support organizations in their digital transformation. To give you an idea of our complexity, today we have over 800 employees and 9 business units, each with their own areas of expertise. As a result, we face real challenges in creating content for our different business units within the marketing department. And today we're going to show you how Mark has helped us improve and streamline our processes. When you produce content with generic AIs like ChatGPT, it's immediately obvious. Everything you publish afterwards, and in a way that's the image of your brand, the image of your company. People will instantly think, basically they just put this into ChatGPT, is it reliable? Are the pieces of information they're sharing trustworthy? And that can cause problems. Oh, clearly, you go to the sales teams and tell them, we have something great, we can help you with responses, with calls for tenders. And then they say, okay, great, how does it work? Well, we have an AI. Oh, so we're going to put all our data, all our figures, etc. into an AI that is absolutely not secure. And right away, even if they can see the time savings, there's still a problem with securing our data. It's not that our competitors will immediately be able to go look in ChatGPT to see what numbers we've entered. Still, we know very well that this data can be valuable, that it can be sold, and we absolutely cannot afford any leaks of the company's confidential information. So the first thing is indeed to have an AI solution where we are 100% sure that the data stays where it is and that it cannot be used by anyone else. Yes, I'm not going to lie to you, I think that's the case for everyone. Everyone thinks that integrating AI into a team is going to be easy, that bringing it into a company is going to be easy, because in a way everyone is already using it. Everyone uses it without really saying so, going on ChatGPT or any other generic platform. Except that typically when you join a marketing or communications team, they'll say, oh no, if we do that, everything will look the same, everything will look identical, and it will be obvious right away that it was written by an AI. And then what will happen to my own job? And so on. Don't be mistaken, even marketing and communications teams will have obstacles to adopting this kind of solution. And that's why it's really important to take the time to provide training and to work with the team. On what topics will it be used, what will it bring you, and what will it allow you to focus on afterwards? That changes everything. And then really, they realize, we'll see, there are some short quotes from the team. Once they understand the real added value for them, the time it saves them, without taking away all their creative genius, so to speak, and that it's a huge enabler, we start to see better adoption. And once you have a team that's on board, go see the salespeople and tell them, we've got something, you'll see, we're going to show you. It's simple, we've set it up, we've taken care of it, we've implemented what was needed. And for you too, it's going to save you time. Little by little, it's something that spreads quite easily within a company. And for us, there was no problem. Firm Power is clearly convinced by the solution. But don't expect there to be no obstacles at all, which is pretty funny because in the end, I know that the whole team, no matter what, was using ChatGPT on the side. So it was a bit unusual, but now they're convinced and it changes everything. As I mentioned in the introduction, we deal with very technical topics, especially when it comes to writing blog articles. Because when you want to address topics for developers and so on, let's be honest, my team doesn't have expertise in JavaScript, coding, or any of those areas. So now, what we really do is, without branding, a team member would have had to take the time together with one of our experts to define the framework of the article. So why are we talking about this topic? What do we need to say about this topic to demonstrate our expertise and improve our SEO rankings and so on? So that means asking a consultant, who is usually with a client, to take 2 hours in the best case scenario, to discuss a topic and write the outline of the article with the key points to cover. Then someone on the team would have had to spend time sourcing information on the internet, in articles, to create the structure of the article and write it. That takes time. After that, going on any platform to make sure that from an SEO perspective it was relevant. And then asking the expert to proofread it to make sure that what we're going to publish is relevant, accurate, and that it will showcase our expertise and not potentially highlight any errors within the article. And so where Mark changes everything is that The topic of the article will be decided in the editorial committee because that's something we all do together, jointly, about what it will be. Our schedule for the coming month for blog articles, webinars, and so on. Once we've decided on the topic, all the work is really done with Mark. On the brief, the research with Mark's help. We co-construct, co-write the article with Mark, incorporating websites that have that seemed relevant to us. For example, English language articles that have proven themselves and so on. Mark writes the blog article with everything we've asked of him. We run it through SEMrush from an SEO perspective. And actually, we only bring in our expert at the end once the article is written. We provide it to them. We say, here you go. We'd like to write an article about JavaScript or about clean code. Here's what we've written. What do you think about it? And so that allows us to ask our consultant to spend, 15 minutes of their day to give us feedback on the article. And actually, just last week, we created one right away. The feedback was, it's super relevant. I'll make 1 or 2 small changes here, but otherwise it's really very good. You can send your blog article as is, so actually it saves time to Pierre, who wrote the article with Mark. But it also means, we're not putting the burden of creation on our colleagues within the company, who potentially have other things to do. And I imagine that sometimes you have experts who might not be available and who don't have the time to do all this work. At first, spending an hour explaining the topic, they don't have 2 hours to explain the topic. And even for us, since we've organized ourselves in terms of planning, it means we know when the article is scheduled to be published. That means we can organize ourselves ahead of time regarding we need to provide it to our expert by a certain date so they can give us their feedback. It makes our lives much easier. It means we have far fewer people to deal with because, as I mentioned, 9 business units, 9 different areas of expertise. If we have to systematically reach out to consultants for every different topic, we end up spending our whole week doing just that. You have to find the right person. Oh, but no, I'm not available. You should ask so-and-so and so on. Whereas just sending an email saying, can you proofread the article for me? Let me know if you find it relevant. If there are any mistakes, that changes everything. But really for them, it changed everything on so many topics. As we can see, indeed, we have redone a number of websites. And in fact, we asked Mark to help us with the SEO optimization of our website and various written materials. It changed everything. And she estimates that as a 3-week time saving on something that doesn't really have much added value. Once we've said what we wanted to say on the site, etc., having it optimized by Mark makes all the difference. And what's more, 3 weeks full time, that's Mark. It's a huge time saver. It allows you to be much more agile when you want to launch a new website because, for example, there are companies that are integrated into Blue Soft and we find out about it a month and a half in advance and we want to launch a website with the right logo, the right colors and the right messages inside. A month and a half later, it saves us an enormous amount of time. On top of that, Mark takes his time, he writes the outline for us, and he often asks, what do you think? Here's the first part, can I continue? Or do we need to make some changes first? Because if, for example, after the first part you tell him, no, actually the tone wasn't right, I'd like you to speak more in this way. He will then apply that to the other parts of the outline. Afterwards, I have to admit, it annoys some team members. I told him it was fine, I don't see why he doesn't just keep going.